This was all I wanted. An opportunity to contribute on a major project. And now, it's never enough. When you're on the outside, you only know what you see. And you assume that if you had that life, you'd be happier. But until you get to experience it for yourself, you'll never really understand what it is. This is the harsh reality of life on the road.
I ain't go back. Document the journey, check the catalog and Kodak.
Oh boy. So, I have arrived, finally. It has been a very long day. Flight got delayed I guess it only got delayed one time, but that one time was for 2.5 hours. And I just found out I have to work at 6 a.m. instead of 8, so I need to get to bed. It's already 9:30, but I need to grab something to eat, so let's see what's open. It's probably not going to be much, but it is what it is.
Having a mentor has completely changed everything. Somebody who I'm not competing with, vastly different stages of our career. And because I have found somebody who has everything I want or who has already accomplished everything I could ever imagine, I listen to everything he says. And as I have transitioned to a place where, I've had people reach out to me and I've started mentoring others, I notice they don't always do the same.
I have to be at work I got to meet everybody else in the lobby at 6:30 a.m. But I'm not quite sure what time it is because every clock in here is different. Changing time zones is sometimes not the easiest thing to get used to. Fortunately, I'm not going to be here too long, so it won't be terrible. But getting in late and then having to be at work at 6:30, this says 3:30. The clocks in the room say 4:30. And then my phone says 5:30, so I'm not sure exactly which time it is.
It's 4:30.
Okay, so actually I'm up way earlier than I need to be. So I guess that gives me time to put some things away.
And some of the advice my mentor has given me has definitely been things that I was hesitant to even follow because I'm like, this doesn't make sense to me. And he's like, yeah, I've been doing this for 40 years. It's like all leap of faith. It's all just trusting the process, trusting in him, trusting in his wisdom, trusting in his guidance. And he has always taught me to find my role. You're not always going to be the smartest guy in the room. You're not always going to be the most talented, but he has always taught me to be prepared for the moment when you are.
I don't have to be at work until 8 o'clock today. I woke up early. I was hoping to try to catch my son before he goes to school. Actually, he should be on his way out the door by now, so it's a little bit concerning that he's not answering the phone. When I think back to, getting rid of his phone, this is the reason why I hate when he doesn't have a phone. I like to be able to call my son directly, not have to go through his mom. It's very frustrating. I moved so I didn't have to do this anymore, and I do find myself doing it more than I would like to. Definitely have encountered people who are just like, no, I'm over that. They've put in enough years, they've made enough money, and they're like, I'm not doing it anymore. I'm not there just yet. I always kind of go back to that's the hope with having multiple things working, is that I don't have to lean on this so much. I wouldn't have to take this job. I'm always having to juggle because sometimes the opportunity is so great that you take a job that you would normally take. I think the plan is to go and work out, just stretch out my body. Nothing crazy, nothing super intense, but just get ready to walk around a bunch and feel limber. And we spoke yesterday when I was at dinner, But, it was kind of like a rush thing. He was getting ready for bed because we're on a time difference. But I was hoping this morning we could talk for a little bit. So maybe tonight. I think we're going to have a break in the middle of the day.
I'm typically working with people who are 25 to 35-year veterans who aren't interested in my opinions or my creative input. They just want me to shut up and pay attention. It's like I'm learning more than I would ever learn anywhere else by simply being there. Because of that, maybe my only contribution is my body. I have to do what they can't or are not willing to do.
Tell me, can you hear me? I've been calling out for help, still don't see nobody near me. I'm down and almost underground and so deep in the valley, I can't even tell you which way is the mountain. God, the only word I got, I could probably plant a garden, all this dirt I got. Trail of broken hearts behind me from the hurt I bought. Sometimes I really start to wonder if I deserve my spot.
It's almost over. Yeah. It's so windy out here. It's like 25-mile-an-hour winds. Yeah, buddy, I'll be there as soon as I can. As soon as I know they booked our travel, I'll let you know what time I'm coming in, okay?
Yay.
Yay, buddy. I miss you so much.
I miss you too. See you Sunday. Or sooner, hopefully.
Or hopefully, yeah. Okay, get into school and be safe and have a good day and call me when you get out, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right, love you.
Love you too.
Bye-bye. So yesterday I didn't drive my car, and that is only because even though, I have a car provided to me and all that, it's nice to sit in the car with everybody and, have those additional minutes because, eventually we'll be back on our own thing and we won't see each other as much. So, it's good team building. There's not going to be really any other opportunity that you have to really bond with people the same way you do when you're on the road. We pretty much have breakfast every single day together, lunch. Last night, because I rode with everybody, we went to dinner after work. And I know some people are like, hey, I'm off work, it's me time, I'll do what I want to do. I get that, but at the same time, I think, these experiences are the moments that when it's over, you're going to wish you took advantage of. I think back to when I was in college, I didn't want to have a roommate because it was uncomfortable. Like, why would I want to live with somebody, some strange person who has weird habits and does things different than me? But then now that I'm older and I hear people talking about, oh, my roommate in college did this, or we did this, or we took this crazy road trip, or they convinced me to do this thing I never wanted to do. It's like, there's something to those experiences, and you don't have them if you avoid them and you only do what's comfortable to you. And every time I'm on the road, it's an opportunity for me to get outside of myself and try something different. This place is a total disaster. When I'm on the road, I'm definitely not trying to tidy up. I'm not living the same way I do when I'm at home. It's just kind of, I do the best I can, but for the most part, someone will clean it when I'm done. Day one, I went out, got some new boots, super excited because I need them. I'm on my feet for at least 12 hours a day, which means a lot of walking, and it's like super important to take care of, my body. And then for dinner, I basically had a beef patty from the dollar store, some gummy bears, and a beer. The goal is to take all my per diem and put it in my bank account and not be spending it on food while I'm out on the road or unnecessary experiences, entertainment, stuff like that. My body is definitely a little bit sore, a little bit battered, a little bit bruised. I rubbed myself down, took a bath in some Epsom salt. Things should start getting easier because a lot of the heavy lifting is done, but now is the part where I get to really focus and, learn. Now I get to get in on the conversation. So we went out drinking last night, tried to stay up as late as possible because today I don't have to start working until 3. Actually, I don't start till 5, but I'm going to head out a little bit early, so I'm going to head out at 3. But it's only like 9:45 right now, so I'm going to run into Walgreens, get some sleeping pills, try to get a little bit more sleep before I head in. It's going to be a long one. So this is it, the big night. 4 days of prep, all for this one moment. While it's easy to get caught up in the excitement of the moment, reality is for the right price, I'll go pretty much anywhere. Becoming a professional initially meant validation, and I was honestly happy just with that. Finally able to tell my family I'm not a starving artist and that I make things that people actually consume. And then I got my first check. Now, I love the craft, but being able to make enough in a few days to cover a month's expenses is hard to beat. A week ago, I was picking my son up from school, doing homework, and tucking him in every night. Now I'm 1,000 miles away, eating fast food, and barely able to get him on the phone. If it wasn't for the money, the choice would be easy. No parent wants to be away from their kid, but sometimes we don't really have a choice. I'm just fortunate that I also enjoy the sacrifice.
'Cause we are the outlaws.
All right, so it's Sunday. I think today I'm gonna go for a little road trip to go pack up whatever toys my son has left at his or at my mother-in-law's house and at my ex's storage unit. So we're gonna go on a road trip. But before we do that, I want to give you guys a little tour of the facility. Our rooms are never like terrible, but they're never like fantastic. Sometimes you get lucky depending on what city you're in. So because we're like out in the woods, we're not really close to downtown. If we were downtown, this hotel would be a lot nicer, but we got what we got. We got the couch, which I never sit on, but it does have this body pillow, which I use because of loneliness. The bed, of course, it's not terrible. Like it's kind of comfortable. It's a little bit soft, but I think I prefer my current bed at home because it's just no place like home. Of course, we have the microwave, which I haven't used much except for heating up a couple beef patties. This TV, which is oddly placed right next to the bed, which is very dumb because it's very hard to lay in the bed and then also watch TV. So I don't really watch TV. There is this one tiny annoyance. Why do they always put these plugs up here on the lamp? So this, and they're also super wide, so they always fall out. Like, give me something stationary that's flat so I can plug my stuff in there. This is dumb. And then I like to set up my closet area. You know what I mean? It's a little bit like, I hate living out of a suitcase, literally. This is a lot nicer to just hang up some stuff, so it's easier to find stuff inside of your suitcase when it's not in the suitcase anymore. Other thing, one must-have for me is a bathtub. I demand a bathtub. If I check in and there's no tub, it's not gonna work. It's nice to get a little quick soak in after a hard day's work. And then we have our tiny little sink area. So not much, not luxurious, not glamorous. There are rooms that I've had that I would say are definitely luxurious and are far nicer than anything I deserve, but this ain't one of them. It's good enough, gets the job done, but I'm a little hungry. Let me go grab something to eat and figure out what we're gonna do about picking up these toys. Even though I'm on the road, I know this town pretty well. In fact, a few years ago, it's where I was homeless. They've got some of my favorite restaurants and a laundromat that serves drinks. But I guess it represents disappointment in many ways, which is fitting because today would be filled with it. From being unable to access the storage unit to breaking my camera. Turns out they won't grant me access unless my ex-wife is present. And unfortunately, she's about 12 hours away. So this part of the trip has been a colossal waste of time. The wind got a hold of it and the screen is gone. Fortunately, I have access on the mobile app, but damn, it's broken. It's my fault. Can't blame the tripod. Can't blame the company. That was just me being stupid, putting it out there. I know I'm out here with like high winds. I mean, not that it's crazy windy right now, but a gust of wind got it, knocked it over, couldn't catch it in time, and now it's also cracked the screen. So I have the DJI refresh, but I'm not going to use it just yet because I can still use the Mimo app to check it and use it that way. And I'll just keep holding on to it until I completely break the gimbal. But this whole thing has just been disappointing. Like the trip out, not the work, but the trip to be this big hero and bring my son's toys home. Just didn't go the way I thought it would. When I started out as a creative, if you had asked me what my dream career path was, I'd say I'm on it now. I arrived at work yesterday at 6:45 in the morning, and there was a young lady out there who had been working for free since 3 a.m. And her goal was just to get noticed by anyone. She was doing people's jobs that she had no business doing. She may or may not have been doing it correctly, but she was hungry and she was looking for an opportunity. And I remember being like that. I remember thinking, man, if I can just hold a trash can, if I can just be there, if I can just be on the outside looking in, like I'll do anything. And I don't know if I have that in me anymore. This opportunity has been fantastic, but at the end of the day, it's just a job. I came here for the money, and despite the opportunity and all the cool stuff I get to do, if the money wasn't there, I don't know if I'd be. Right now, I just want to get home to my son. I just want to hold him in my arms. I just want to tell him I love him. I just want to help him with his homework, because that's really all that matters. It's just easy to forget when you're pursuing a certain type of life that at the end of the day, you're just chasing a job. Even if it's a career, even if it's a position, what does any of that mean in the grand scheme of things? People are what's most important to me. And my son is the most important person in my life. There's all these videos on YouTube cropping up about I'm quitting my 9-to-5 to pursue my passion and live my dream and blah, blah, blah. It's like, no, you just want a different job. I love the opportunity. I love the people. I love the places. I love the opportunity to do things that I've never done before, to be one of the makers of the art that people try to copy. But ultimately, it is just a job. The opportunities that you have might not look the way you think they're going to look, but you'll never know until you find out. And I will never discourage anyone from trying to pursue it on their own. But just know there's somebody else out there who might want it a little bit more than you. It's just a job. We're all just chasing an opportunity to do something that we love, that pays us. And if you want to do it and not get paid, do that, because that's probably going to be the way you're going to love it the most. If you're pursuing your dream job, it's probably someone else's dream as well. And you are 100% competing with that person for that job. I don't want it that bad. I still love it. I'm still going to do it. But if it comes down to me proving myself against somebody who's out here working at 3 a.m., hoping to get noticed, to get an email address, a phone number of somebody who can actually put them in that position, they win. All I want to do is get home to my son right now. And there's no job that is more fulfilling than every single moment that I get to spend with my son. And right now, that's truly where I want to be. I love it. I love it. Don't get me wrong. It is my dream job. But it's just a job. And I'm ready to go home. Great news, I actually just secured another partnership for this channel, which is really awesome because I think I knew that I wanted to make sure that I was working with brands that actually are in alignment with me. Like personally, they're not just people reaching out to me to send me free stuff that I'm not interested in. I have integrity. I'm not just going to support anything. It has to be something I'm sincerely and genuinely interested in. And it's cool that that's actually happening. Speaking of money, let's talk about how much money I've been spending while I've been out here. The key is that while I'm on the road, I'm supposed to be making money, not tricking. And I was getting to that point. I had to bring myself in a little bit. While I'm on the road, they cover my travel, my gas, I get per diem. So there's lots of opportunities to make money. But at the same time, when you're sitting in a hotel room and you have a bunch of free time, which I don't have a bunch of free time, but when you have free time, it's easy to just start spending on things that aren't really important, going and hanging out, going to the bar, just doing all types of events. People go to concerts, sporting events. Like, it's easy to spend money. My biggest purchase was I bought a pair of boots for $184, $12 on chai. Then over here, I'm spending $9 on Chick-fil-A sandwiches. Just all in all, I think I spent about $250 on food and drinks, which in about 13 days is probably more than I would have wanted to spend. You know what I mean? Like, I really could have just gone to the dollar store, only got beef patties, only got a loaf of bread and some peanut butter, and just had that every single day. But at the same time, I try to balance out the fact that there's an opportunity to network and hang out and, get to meet new people. And I try to do that. Wants, needs, necessities, these are not all the same thing. And just as a dad, you don't always just get to do whatever you want to do. You know what I mean? You do what you can do. You do what you should do. You try to find a good balance, but it's not all about wants. But with that said, I'm down to my final day. Today's our final day at work. I have a 6 a.m. flight. I'm so pumped. Like, I changed my flight from 11 a.m. to 6 because I'm ready to get out of here. It's been a nice ride. It's been a great experience. It's been humbling and a blessing and so nice. But I am so ready to get back home, give my son a hug, lay down in bed, talk to him about everything I've missed, get caught up, get back into cooking for him and doing the homework and all those little things. And, having documented so much of our experiences together is really nice because, while I'm out here on the road, I miss him, of course, but being able to watch videos that I made of our time together helps to fill those gaps just a little bit. So it's definitely not the same. But it's more than just having a few pictures. So can't wait to get back and make some more memories. I originally agreed to just 7 days, but before my flight even landed, it had already been extended to 10. So far, I've been gone for 13 days, and every time I leave, I eventually ask myself, is it even worth it?